What's going on, everyone? I'm Jaren, and today we are talking about Clown in a Cornfield. The story follows Frendo the Clown, a symbol of bygone success, which reemerges as a terrifying scourge in a fading Midwestern town. This is based off the horror book series by Adam Caesar, and tackling this adaptation is Eli Craig, the co-writer and director of Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. Now, I haven't had the chance to read any of the books. I believe it is a trilogy, but I have seen Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, so that is definitely one of the more successful cult hits of the horror comedies. The premise sounded very interesting on paper, but if I'm going to be honest, the trailer was just not selling me on it. And unfortunately, our movie theaters here on Maui are very limited. I don't really think that they screen a lot of movies by RLJE or Shudder, so I was lucky enough to get in touch with my associates at the Critic Society, and they were able to provide me with a screener right before opening weekend. And I'm gonna be honest, I did find out later on that we did get this movie released at our local theater, and I wish I could have seen it that way, because it is just very annoying when you watch a screener where your email is just plastered in the middle of the screen. Before sitting down and watching this movie, I was hearing nothing short of decent reviews, and I just really wanted to keep my expectations low, because in a world where we have Bill Skarsgård's Pennywise or David Howard Thornton's Art the Clown, what is it about Frendo that he can bring to the table? What kind of story, lore, carnage, candy, kills, or even the characteristics of a horror icon can he provide that is different from those other two? And you know what? After finally sitting down to watch this movie, this adaptation isn't clowning around. Starting off with the positives, for some reason, when I saw the trailer, I really thought this was going to be PG-13, especially when people were telling me that this was going to be adapted from a book series, a trilogy that was catered to teenagers. But the opening sequence really brought me back to my first experience watching Fear Street on Netflix, and that was being surprised at how bloody this was going to be. Having said that, take that with a grain of salt, because it doesn't necessarily have the practical gore effects as much as Terrifier does. I mean, it's not spilling buckets of blood, but for example, when I see a clown swinging a chainsaw and it tries to kill somebody, I expect to see a splattery mess and not a cutaway. Getting into the talent here, we got Katie Douglas, who plays our protagonist named Quinn, and I really admired her performance here, and especially the way that they wrote her. She's someone that the audience could really latch onto, and when she finally comes face to face with danger, she proves her resilience and competence with being a final girl. We also got Aaron Abrams, who plays Quinn's father, as well as the town's new family doctor, and he makes various attempts at trying to bond or reconnect with Quinn over their differences and their living situation. And although they may not see eye to eye, I love that they can both agree that they know what's best for one another. We also have Carson McCormick, who plays Cole. He is the so-called leader of this friend group, these group of miscreants, if you will, and they get acquainted with Quinn right away. They bond over with their personal issues, and they welcome her into the group with open arms. And you know what? It's easy to lump them in as like one-dimensional YouTubers who have turned their town's mascot into a horror icon online. And with their actions and their behaviors, it's just very easy to lump them onto the killer's chopping block, if you will. But as the story pushes forward, they become very charming and likable caricatures. So because this is from the same co-writer and director of Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, there are many attempts of humor at play here, but I did find a lot of the comedic elements struggling to lend for its viewers, including myself. I mean, the horror and the drama remain consistent, but there would be some nice humor placements now and then, like when the girls try to go out and call for help, but they don't know how to work an old school rotary dial phone. And then we would have the inconsistent squeaky noises of clown shoes when Frendo was lurking around. And, you know, otherwise a lot of the jokes really fell flat for me. Where they decided to take the direction of this story is going to make or break your expectations. So for the first half, you are treated to everything that's mediocre, very much been there, done that type of slasher movie, and then you come to the juicy reveal in the halfway point. And I thought to myself, wow, this is what differentiates itself from Art the Clown and Pennywise. This is where it finds its identity. This is where it finds its footing. I look back on the beginning of that movie and it laid out all the little breadcrumbs where I had my suspicions, but I did not see that coming. And you know what? I don't expect for everyone to love that subversion of the third act, but all the way from the halfway point to the minute we roll to the credits, I was just locked in. You can say that the horror and the mystique does lose its steam by the time we get to the exposition dump and the final confrontation, but for me, there was a lot of questions and plot threads that could have wrapped up a lot tighter. It surely justifies as the reason as to why this is a book series, as to why is it a trilogy, and it's just planting the seeds and really just giving you hope of what to look forward to. But I really do hope that we do have those sequels come to fruition, because as a singular movie, I did feel half full, half satisfied. Like, I want more, because, take for example the American remake, American iteration of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Like, I know the trilogy's out there, but they only gave us the first movie, and I'm just really pissed at how they ended that one. Overall, I really did appreciate the commentary it had about generational differences. I really did wish I got to see this in theaters, so before it hits Shudder, I highly recommend you grab your friends and go to the big screen and check this out. I'm really curious as to checking out the books now, but I really want to hold out on all the cinematic surprises for this potential franchise. I mean, Friendo the Clown proves that he is not one to be fucked with, and he deserves to tangle with the rest of the Hall of Famers. Alright guys, that's all I got to share about that movie. Go ahead and check it out on the big screen or wait for it to stream, but I'm actually going on vacation for the next week and a half, so I won't be able to catch up with a lot of the movies that are coming out. It will be a lot of late reviews, but be patient with me. Go ahead and check it out for yourself, but look forward to more reviews. I want to thank you guys again for taking some time out of there to hear me talk some movies. I'm Jaren. In the meanwhile, take care, and I'll see you guys at the theater.